Hi everyone, my name's Jessica and I'm here to welcome you to Counterpulse. I know most of you. I am really excited by this project. We have been sort of on this crusade to introduce a greater level of discourse to the dance community. Feeling like great show is not quite enough conversation, and we want to be having more detailed conversations with people, both for artists to give feedback, but also to educate ourselves as a community about how to articulate what we're doing in hopes that that will support the work. So Mary Armentrout and Dancers Group have gotten together with us to create this fabulous evening, which is really Mary's brainchild. And it's the first of a series. So we are really excited to have your participation this evening, and also really hope that if you enjoy it, you will tell people about it. It's sort of a hard row to hoe to get people to come to something with the word discourse in it, but hopefully it's going to be really lively and juicy and exciting. So without further ado, I will introduce you to Mary Armentrout.
Yay! Yay! Thank you so much for coming, you guys, and welcome. I have to say, very excited to be here myself and to be starting this whole dance discourse project. And let's see, I wrote down my notes so that I would try and not take up too much of the time that we want to spend actually talking about real stuff. So let's see, I just wanted to give you a little bit of introduction to what's going to go on tonight and to what this series is going to be hopefully in the future. So we're imagining that this thing called the Dance Discourse Project is going to be an ongoing series. It's kind of co-supported and co-presented by Dancers Group and Counterpulse, which I think is great. And we're imagining it will happen hopefully about 3 times a year. So just, put it in the back of your head that that's what's going to happen, and look for it, and put your thinking cap on and come on down. I'm going to be organizing this series, but I'm hopefully going to have guest curators as well. So there'll be a kind of different cast of characters, different kinds of discussions. It won't always be like this, just so that you know that as well. And it just seemed to me that now was a really good time to start this again. This is not something new, but to start the kind of Talking Danced project again, because it feels like there's just been an explosion in the dance world, kind of critical mass moment, what with all the performance theory and critical talk about dance in the last 10 years. It just feels like there's enough interest and talking kind of going on in the global world that we can just kind of take some of that, start doing it here, and apply it to the kind of stuff that's happening in our backyard and see what that gives us. It should give us, I think, a whole nother layer of richness with which to kind of deal with the work that we're already making here. And let's see. So moving on to this first night, this Dance Discourse Project #1, which is called Bay Area Dance. Who are we now? I really wanted to do something that was kind of like an introduction to the Bay Area, just a snapshot, just a beginning that will be completely and obviously incomplete, just a little first taste that will kind of open up this Pandora's box of unanswerable questions and controversy and excitement and messiness. Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, that's the idea here. So what we're going to do is a very specific thing that will just kind of hopefully be one doorway into the many, many, many layers of the labyrinth. So what I did is I gave our 4 panelists a very, very hard assignment. And our 4 panelists are Laura Elaine Ellis, Paige Starling Sorbillo, Keith Hennessy, and Jez Lee. And so what I said was, okay, you guys, pick one artist, one Bay Area artist, whose work embodies something exciting or interesting about what's going on in Bay Area dance now, for whatever your reason is, and come, bring some video of their work, come and bring the video and talk a little bit about it and see if you can tell us and describe for us what's interesting about this work. So as you can see, this is really hard, partly because it's only one, right? There are only 4 of them. We're only going to see 4 works, actually 5 different artists are going to be discussed. A little slippage. And so it's just a very, very small snapshot of the literally hundreds of working dance artists in the Bay Area right now. So there's no way that I think that this could be considered kind of, comprehensive. It's just a very little beginning to get us all excited and to make us realize that there's many, many, many different things that we need to add in over time in all the other next dance discourses projects and with the help of everybody in this room. So that's basically what we're going to be doing tonight. One other thing that just a couple of little things I want to add in. I'm hoping that we cannot, as a group, kind of get bogged down in the conversation of, well, there's not enough funding and there's no money for touring and that kind of negative spiraling conversation, which it's not that I don't agree, don't worry about that. But I think that I'd rather try and use this as a forum for concentrating on what we really are doing already and finding a way to talk about it and investigating it to just help using that to help make what we're doing already richer and move it in that direction. Another thing that I just wanted to kind of put out on the table right away is I really am interested in kind of getting to some of the big picture questions. Through talking about some of these very specific things, I think that we can get out to the big picture level and try and understand how talking about dance as dance artists, talking about ourselves, how that helps us understand ourselves better, how it helps us articulate ourselves out to a larger world better. So I figured I would just throw out a few big questions myself to kind of just say these are some of the things that I'm hoping we may be able to get to in this series. Maybe we'll touch on them tonight, just to give you a sense of the sort of things I'm thinking of, perhaps. So my number one question, always, forever, is so what is dance and why is this dance and how do you know when it's dance? And the other part of that is, why is this a relevant question? Why is this always a relevant question in contemporary dance? So just a question to stick in the back of your mind, see how that bubbles up for you in this situation. And another question I was interested as far as this particular project is, what's the role of the local? What's the role of the Bay Area in the work that we make? What's the role of the local in a global economy, like the one we live in? So how does the specifics of this place influence the work that we make? So, just a few things. Now, so the structure for the evening is going to go something like this. Each of our lovely panelists is going to both show some of the work of the artist they've chosen and talk a little bit about that artist, that work. And we are going to have 5 rather than 4, because Paige is going to have 2. And then I'm going to ask them a couple questions, and we're going to discuss a little bit more amongst ourselves. And then we're going to open the discussion up, and we're all going to be able to please talk about whatever you would like to talk about. And then after that, we do have some wine and silly snacks, and we hope that you'll stay around and have a little bit more of an informal discussion after that. Okay? Let's see, we also have, just so you know, we have Jessica Robinson here from Counterpulse, and we also have Bonner Odell from Dancers Group, who's editor of In Dance, and Bonner is going to do this lovely job for us. She is going to man the whiteboards, and as interesting words, thoughts, concepts, other projects, other ideas come up, hopefully she'll be jotting that stuff down. The other thing that I just wanted to say that we can use these whiteboards for is that in the more informal section of the evening, when people are milling around, they will be unmanned, and you are welcome to go up there and jot down suggestions of your own, future topics, things you find interesting, that sort of thing. So I encourage you to please add in during that time. Okay, let's start. And as Jessica says, we are going to use these mics since this is all being recorded. Okay, great. Let's see. And first,
we're just going to go ahead and start rather loudly. You want to press play?
Can we take out more lights?
Can we take out the lights, Patrick?